Hello and Assalamualaikum. Today our group will be presenting about subdivision of philosophy part 2.4 politics. This presentation will be presented by me, Aisha, Nang, Aina and Alia. So enjoy our presentations.
Political philosophy is a branch of philosophy that deals with big ideas and arguments about politics. It looks like the basic concept people use when thinking about politics, like justice, freedom, and right. In a broader sense, anything related to how government work or how political systems are organized can be called political. These include all the practice, rule, and institutions involved in running a government. Political philosophy is also a part of the study of political science, which focuses on understanding how government function and how political decisions are made.
Point D, it said that philosophy provides to political science knowledge of ideal human behavior, which is philosophy helps political science by offering ideas about how people should behave, and political value, which is what political values are important and good and bad in political theory, which is good or whether what is considered good or bad in politics, and it helps to determine what laws, policies, and government decisions are, whether it's right or wrong. Next, philosophy also provides a theory of what an ideal society and political system should look like, and guiding the way political institutions should be structured to promote fairness, justice, and order. And I can conclude that philosophy helps to shape the way we think about and understand political systems and decisions.
So point E, the main goal of political philosophy is define the basic principle that guide how a state should function.
For the F, a normative approach in political philosophy involves evaluating a political system, structure, and action based on moral of ethical standard about what should be rather than merely describing what it is.
For point G, political philosophy reach conclusion using a deductive method, starting with general principles and applying them to specific cases.
Point H about political philosophy or political theory is the philosophical study of government, addressing questions about the nature, scope, and etc. So this means that political philosophy or political theory is the study of government from a philosophical perspective. It explores important questions about the nature of government, what its role should be, and how it should operate. It also examines the legitimacy of public institutions and officials. This meaning that it asks whether they have the right to rule and make decisions. Additionally, political philosophy looks at how different government agents like leaders, lawmakers, and judges should interact with each other and the people they govern. So it's basically like political philosophy help us to think critically about the purpose and fairness of government and its institutions.
For the I, the philosophy of government that incorporates natural right, republicanism, and constitutionalism can be seen in the political thought ideas, were highly influential in the development of modern democratic state.
Okay, for the next part is part J. This is the last part. It says that these ideas were part of the common intellectual currency of 18th century. Despite tak ada apa pun, because they just want to share that the 9 points that we shared earlier was the ideas that were widely shared and discussed by the intellectuals in the 18th century of America, like Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and all. So these ideas were discussed together with the intellectuals.
So next is definition of politics. Politics refers to the activities involved in governing a country or region, including the debates and discussion between political parties in power and the management of relationship between states. It encompasses the processes of decision making within group or the power dynamic between individual or groups, such as the allocation of resources, authority, or social status. Politics is a fundamental aspect of organizing societies, ensuring order and addressing conflict or competing interests within a community.
Next, I will be talking about how this political system works. How this politics works. We already know the definition of the politics. So right now, I will tell you guys about how this politics works. Okay, but this politics involves a variety of methods that people and groups use to influence or control the government and society. These methods include promoting one's own political beliefs, negotiating with others, making laws, and even using force, such as through warfare against opponents. This by means the oppositions. So politics happen at many different levels in society. It can be within the small groups like clans or tribes, within local governments, or even companies, or in larger organizations such as nations, or even on an international stage. In modern countries, people often form political parties to organize and represent their ideas. A political party is a group of people who share similar beliefs and goals. Party members usually agree on many issues, such as which laws should be changed, which leader to support, and what the country's direction should be. Elections, and next I want to talk about elections. Election is a way of people to choose between different political parties, often through a competitive process, which basically will be held in certain dates. And this competitive process is where parties try to win support from voters, which is us that is not involved in this politics.
Political history is the study and analysis of political events, ideas, movement, governmental structures, voters, political parties, and leaders over time. It is closely connected to other areas of history, such as diplomatic, constitutional, social, public, and people's history. This field explores the evolution of political system and concept throughout human history, extending far beyond modern government institutions.
Franz de Waal suggests that even chimpanzees engage in political behavior by using social manipulation to gain and keep important position in their groups. In early human history, before modern government, humans lived in small groups called band and tribe. This group didn't have a big organized system of government and are often called stateless societies because there are no central authority or state structure. In ancient times, civilization didn't have a clear border like countries do today. Instead, their boundaries were more like open areas and frontiers. The first civilization to create defined border were early Sumer and early Egypt. Even up until 12th century, many people lived in societies without states. These societies range from simple, equal groups like bands and tribes to more complex and divided ones, like chiefdom, where leaders had more power and control.
Next is politics theory. As you guys can see on the slide, there are different ideas about how and why early states were formed, with some scholars trying to find general rules that explain why states develop in certain areas but not in others. However, other scholars argue that each case of state formation is unique and should be studied individually without trying to apply broad generalization. First is voluntary theories. Voluntary theories suggest that different groups of peoples came together to form states because they share common interests or saw it as a rational choice. So these stories often focus on the rise of agriculture as people began farming, populations grew, and the need of more organization and structure led to the creation of states. It's like so these early states basically doing agriculture, in the field of agriculture, they focus on farming. So as the populations grew, they need some people to lead them. So by having organization and a structure to lead them, it can be more flexible and more organized on this creation of states. So next, a well-known theory among those explaining early state formation is the hydraulic hypothesis. This hydraulic hypothesis argues about the states were formed because of the need to build and manage large irrigation system for farming in areas where water management was crucial for agriculture. It became necessary to organize people and resources on a larger scale, leading to the creation of states, because the irrigation system is the crucial things in farming. So they need a good water system, so that water system and a good management to manage the system for the resource on a larger scale for this farming, and leading so that they can create states that have some organized with this agriculture.
Alright, for the conflict theories of state information focus on the idea that state arise primarily due to conflict, creation, and the dominance of one group over another. And this theory offers the most optimistic voluntary theories, which suggest that states are created through mutual agreement among individuals or groups to maximize collective benefit and organize society more efficiently.
So next is globalization. Political globalization refers to the increasing connections and cooperation between countries around the world. It's a worldwide thing. This process began in 20th century, largely through the creation of organizations that bring countries together to solve world common problems together, to solve it together. So after World War I, the League of Nations was formed to promote peace and cooperation, but it was not hold longer and it was not very successful. So after World War II, the world decided to form the United Nations that still have until today. We call it UN, was established to continue these missions, and since then many international agreements and treaties have been signed through the UN. And in addition to global organizations like the UN, it also contributes to regional group also formed to promote cooperation between countries in specific areas. For example, the African Union works on issues across Africa, and in Malaysia we joined ASEAN, ASEAN, to focuses on Southeast Asia. And the European Union, EU, helps European countries to cooperate in many areas, and Mercosur promotes integration in South America. Mercosur. Okay, so there are also several important international institutions that work on global issues. These include the International Criminal Court, which handle crimes that affect the world, the International Monetary Fund, which help countries with financial stability, and the World Trade Organization, which deals with trade rules between countries. And these organizations are all part of the growing trend of political globalization, where countries work together more closely on global challenge. And this globalization is crucial because we need all of this organization to make sure that certain country is doing good, and the UN especially, we need that so that we can know the country that is not doing good, so that all together, all the countries, we come together and help them together. So that's all.
Alright, for the political system is the process through which government decisions were made, shaping society through public policy. And the Western define it as the interaction with values allocate for a society. It operates within a society, political culture, and influence global political through interaction with other systems.
I think that's all from us. Thank you for listening.